6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has urged local and foreign investors to take advantage of the investment opportunities in Pakistan's renewable energy sector. Shahbaz Sharif has reiterated his commitment to transform the brotherly ties with Qatar into mutually beneficial economic relations. The Foreign Minister will chair a conference on women in Islam in New York on Wednesday next. The All-Parties Hurriyat Conference has deplored the full-fledged war against the oppressed people of the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir by the fascist Indian government. The Arab nations have strongly condemned the racist and abusive comments uttered by an Israeli minister calling for the destruction of the Palestinian village of Hawara. The 19th match of the Pakistan Super League Season 8 will be played between Islamabad United and Karachi Kings in Rawalpindi today. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has urged local and foreign investors to take benefit from the investment opportunities in Pakistan's renewable energy sector. He was talking to a four-member delegation of the Karachi Electric that called on him in Islamabad today. The Prime Minister said the government is giving priority to generating electricity from renewable energy sources, and steps are being taken to convert all government buildings across the country on solar energy. Appreciating the performance of K Electric, the Prime Minister said there has been an improvement in the performance of Karachi Electric after its privatization. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has reiterated Pakistan's commitment to transform brotherly ties with Qatar into mutually beneficial economic relations. He was talking to the ambassador of Qatar, Sheikh Saud bin Abdul Rahman bin Faisal Asani, who called on him in Islamabad today. During the meeting, the ambassador of Qatar apprised the Prime Minister on various activities being carried out to augment the brotherly relations between Qatar and Pakistan. The Prime Minister thanked Qatar for its humanitarian assistance to the people of Pakistan after the historic last year's floods. Qatar hosts around 250,000 Pakistanis, contributing to the development of both the countries. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, has emphasized greater collaboration with the United States in the fields of education, agriculture, and information technology. Talking to a delegation of California's State Assembly, led by Chris Holden in Islamabad, the President said Pakistan and the United States enjoy a long-standing relationship which needs to be further expanded. He appreciated the signing of the sister state resolution between the Punjab and California on January 9, 2023. The Finance Minister Mohammad Ishaq says Chinese Foreign Ministry's remarks asking the international financial institutions to play a constructive role in the economic and social development of Pakistan reflect depth of friendship between the two countries. In a tweet today, the Finance Minister quoted the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning's reply to a question from Bloomberg at a media briefing in Beijing. The Chinese spokesperson had urged commercial creditors and the multilateral financial institutions to help Pakistan in its efforts for economic stability. The Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari will preside over a conference on women in Islam in New York on Wednesday next. The conference is being hosted by Pakistan in its capacity as the chair of the OIC Council of Foreign Ministers on the sidelines of the 67th session of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. The objective of the conference is to bridge the gap between perception and reality on the rights of women in Islam and celebrate the experiences and successes of iconic Muslim women. It is also aimed at establishing an annual policy dialogue to address challenges and explore opportunities to advance the role of women in OIC countries. The opening address of the Foreign Minister will be followed by speeches of the United Nations General Assembly President Sisaba Korosi, OIC Secretary General Hussein Brahim Taha, Executive Director of the United Nations Women Saima Bahous, and other dignitaries and representatives of OIC member states. The foreign minister is also expected to participate in a high-level United Nations Security Council debate on women, peace and security, sponsored by Mozambique in its capacity as the Council's president for this month. The Chief of the Naval Staff, Admiral Mohammad Amjad Khan Niazi, has emphasized to give special focus on professional grooming of students. He was chairing the 49th Board of Governors meeting of Bahria University in Islamabad today. The Naval Chief appreciated the efforts of Bahria University in imparting quality education to the students and also contributing towards their character and personality building. He lauded Bahria University's endeavor in Pakistan International Maritime Expo and Conference PIMAC 2023 at Karachi. The Federal Secretary Information and Broadcasting, Shahira Shahid, has been promoted to grade 22. Currently, Shahira Shahid has been performing her duties as Secretary Information and Broadcasting. This is Radio Pakistan. The incarcerated senior leader of the All Parties Hurriyat Conference, Shabbir Ahmad Shah, has deplored that Narendra Modi-led fascist Indian government has declared a full-fledged war against the oppressed people of the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. According to Kashmir Media Service, in a message from New Delhi's infamous Tihar jail, Shabbir Ahmad Shah said the Modi regime has turned the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir into a military garrison where the Indian troops are perpetrating the worst human rights violations. Meanwhile, the Indian National Investigation Agency attached today the ancestral houses of several other freedom activists in Sopore. In another development, posters that appeared in Srinagar and other areas of the Kashmir Valley said holding of meetings of G20 in the United Nations designated disputed Jammu and Kashmir by India is a sacrilege of blood and sentiments of the people of the occupied territory. Palestine has condemned the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the Israeli settlement of Har Brakah near the northern West Bank city of Nablus. In a statement, the Palestinian Foreign Ministry said the provocative visit of Benjamin Netanyahu into the West Bank and the hostile statements and stances he made are rejected and condemned. The United Nations nuclear watchdog chief Rafael Grossi has arrived in Tehran for discussions with Iranian officials following the detection of extremely high-level enriched uranium in the country. The visit today by the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency comes with the Vienna-based organization seeking to get Iran to increase cooperation over its nuclear activities. He will meet the head of the Iranian Atomic Energy Organization, Mohammad Islami. A confidential IAEA report says uranium particles were enriched up to 83.7% in Iran, just under the 90% threshold needed to produce an atomic bomb. The president of Iran, Sayyid Ibrahim Raisi, has termed the ongoing wave of poison attacks on schoolgirls in the country a plot by Tehran's enemies to ignite fear and chaos. According to state news agency IRNA, President Raisi said he has tasked the Interior and Intelligence Ministers to investigate the poisonings and thwart this conspiracy. The Arab nations have strongly condemned the racist and abusive comments uttered by an Israeli minister calling for the destruction of the Palestinian village of Hawara. In a statement, the United Arab Emirates Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation said the Emirates reject all practices that contradict moral and human values and principles. Russia has expressed the determination to take steps to prevent cross-border incursions after Moscow blamed Ukrainian nationalists for killing civilians in the south of the country. Talking to press in Moscow, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said measures will be taken to prevent similar events in future. South Korea and the United States will conduct large-scale military drills this month despite North Korea's threatening to take strong action. In a statement, the two militaries said the joint war exercises Freedom Shield will take place from the 13th to the 23rd of this month to strengthen their combined defensive capabilities. And now cricket. The 19th match of the Pakistan Super League Season 8 will be played between Islamabad United and Karachi Kings in Rawalpindi today. The match will start at 1900 hours Pakistan Standard Time. And finally, the weather report. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, light rain and wind with thunderstorm is likely in North Baluchistan and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.